We'll open with a quick opening statement from you, Coach, and then we'll take questions from the room. If you have a question, raise your hand. We'll get one of the mics to you. Thank you.
All right, thanks. I love an opening statement. I usually don't give you guys that at home, right? So obviously we're thrilled to be here. It's been a great week already. Love the way our guys have been locked in practices, both at the home site and here at the bowl game. I know our football team, just in general, super excited to play offensively. I think we're pretty healthy, and the guys have been really tuned into what's going on in the game plan, and obviously a tremendous challenge as we go face South Carolina and their defense. Much respect for them, but I know our guys are excited to play, and we're looking forward to getting this game underway soon.
Cool. If you have a question, raise your hand. We'll get a mic to you. All right, we'll take one down in front here, Ray.
It's for both Barry and Luke. What stands out to you about South Carolina's defense, Barry, and then Luke, same thing?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, when you watch them on film, you just see a super well coached. Like you would think when you're playing a team in the Citrus Bowl, that's a 9-3 SEC team. You're playing. That's what you would expect, to play somebody that is super well coached. It's got really good players across the board. That's what you see. I think you just, kind of as a team, just the big picture there. Obviously, I think, the way they're playing the last 6-7 weeks of the season, playing as well as anybody probably in the country. And I think that starts with the defense and the way the defense tackles, runs the football, play really aggressive. They play within their scheme, and they play really confidently.
Yeah, I think Coach hit all those points. If you win 9 games in that conference, I was in it for 2 years, and I lived in it forever. And if you win 9 games in that conference, you're probably a pretty good team. So defensively, they're a fast, physical, confident group. They trust their scheme really, really well, and they fly around, they tackle well, and very confident group. And I know they will be going into this game because of their success that they've had. So it'll be a challenge for us, much like we faced all year. So we know that if we take care of, kind of what we do internally, I think we'll, be fine going into the game. So very excited for the challenge.
All right, we'll go to the right side on the aisle here. Matt Michelle.
This one's for Luke. How much was it announcing your decision to come back as early as you did? How much of that was to kind of clear the plate and let you kind of focus on, getting into this game, preparing for this game, and then preparing for the future?
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it. I really wanted to make a decision, kind of sooner rather than later. Obviously, if I was playing in the bowl game, that was a pretty good indication that I would probably be back. So, wanted to really just, get my feet pretty firm where I'm at. So, once I, kind of made the decision in my head and with my team that I was going to be back, the next step was to really, announce it, in this day and age. So that's kind of what you got to do, I guess. So, it was a no-brainer. I love being here. I love the coaches I do it with. Love my teammates. Love the community that I'm in. They've helped me in so many different ways, and really just want to be here as long as I can. So hopefully with this new NCAA rule, I can just keep coming back. So I really enjoy it.
All right, we'll take one on the front left here.
This is for both of you, but Luke, if you could start. I mean, we talked about obviously your growth on the field, but how have you grown personally in the last couple of years? And Barry, for you, what have you seen from him over the last few years?
Yeah, it's been, really a complete 180 just from, I think me mentally. I think coming off of last season, I knew there had to be some sort of change to kind of get to where I want to go. I had struggles, obviously physically with, my play, but I think those physical struggles were really, a mental, kind of a spiritual, emotional thing, and I knew I had to do work there to really take a step, and I did with, coaches like this, Coach Lunney and outside sources, pastors, psychologists, to really help grow my tools off of the field, and I think that's been the whole change. I think at the end of the day, my talents are my talents. The player that you see on the field today was really the player that you saw last year. It's just the confidence and the strength that I have spiritually and emotionally and mentally is really, gone to a place where I didn't think it could go. So, and that's just thanks to the people around me, and that's really why I want to be here. I'm surrounded by so many great people and people who know Christ and people who know me, and I really understand who I am as a person, and know I can just keep on taking it to new levels and new heights. So just had so much fun with it this year, and excited to keep moving forward with that.
All right, we're going to.
Yeah, I would absolutely It's been I don't know if I've seen in my coaching career a young man, to Luke's point, his skills are his skills. Like, like when we first got him, he first came here, I mean, you could just see the talent. I mean, obviously Luke possesses a lot of physical talent, and really did some good things last year for us, in his first year here. And but just the change that we've seen from him, and just it's been really fun to watch, because I would just really just completely stamp exactly what he just said. Like just the change of it was really fun to see him, his true personality, his true self, just him be comfortable in his own skin, knowing who he is and knowing that the results don't define him. It has really, I think, allowed him to play with a great deal of freedom. He certainly understands the challenges and the responsibilities of being the quarterback of a Big Ten football program and a marquee university. He's really just just gravitated towards that role and just taking it to a new level. It's been fun to watch.
All right, we're going to take one here and then one on the right side in the front row.
Barry, you've added a couple transfers to your offense here. What do you like about Ethan Hampton, with Luke at that quarterback position, and what does Justin Bowick add to you too?
Yeah, excited for, obviously we continue to add them across the board. I know you're specifically asking, offensive guys here and guys that I can comment on. And, Justin's a guy that we're really excited. He's a big, huge frame who, in limited action last year due to health challenges, really started to take off. Did a lot of research on him. He came from EIU, who we've got I have a dear friend with Chris Wilkerson there, and he just raved about who he was and what he was, and you could see that interacting with him. So I think he's going to add a lot of competition to that room. A big target who, again, had a really, really good year in a limited sample size last year at Ball State. And then Ethan, when we set out and once we knew we were losing Donovan, obviously I'd kind of mentioned that at home, about how important it is for us to structure the room with experience and, and infuse that with young talent and compete. And, that's what Ethan wants to do. He wants to be able to come here and compete. And, obviously somebody that has, I think, 8 or 9 game starting experience. Obviously it's been talked about a lot. He was a quarterback for the NIU team that beat Notre Dame. It wasn't just Ethan, it was the whole team that beat Notre Dame, but that experience was appealing to us. And so he's an in-state kid that is familiar with our program. And, we reached out to him, and there was some mutual interest there. And we just, all of a sudden it kind of came together nicely and kind of fit the bill of what we were looking for to help stabilize that room.
Both of you guys could take this. Justin Stepp obviously has a history with South Carolina. Has he said anything this week about maybe wanting this game a little bit more than any other opponent?
Well, not really. I mean, obviously he's familiar with the coaches and has got a great deal of respect for Coach Beamer and the guys on the staff. And I know he's dear friends with Coach White and several of the guys on the staff. I just know that. And I've got a history of Justin myself. I worked with him at Arkansas, and obviously we were thrilled to be able to get him last year in the off season, and he's really done a great job helping our room, helping our offense, helping the receivers grow. And we're thrilled to have Justin. Obviously, we're thrilled to be in the Citrus Bowl. I think it's a unique situation. He's playing his former team, but I know all he wants to do is help our football team do the best they can do when it comes to game time.
Yeah, I don't think he's brought that distraction into it. I know it can be really easy too. I know there was a kind of a deal where we could have played Ole Miss and that kind of thing. So it's very similar, I think. And I know if we did, I wouldn't have let that distracted me or our team, and I wouldn't even talked about it a lick. So he's definitely haven't done that. He's been super focused on getting his receivers in particular ready for this game. And obviously there's a little bit of excitement to it for him, and that's understandable. That's just human nature. And I'm excited for him to kind of go out there and experience that, and his family as well. So excited to go play for him. That'll be really fun.
All right, we got time for one more from the room. We got red shirt here, and then we'll swap, bring in Coach Henry and Miles.
Very obviously, without Pat in this game, it would seem to be an opportunity for some of those younger wide receivers. What have you seen from those guys, and what can this be for them to kind of be springboard into winter, spring, fall camp?
Yeah, anytime you watch a bowl game, if you've watched the games this season already, inevitably there's somebody on every one of those games they talk about. It's like, well, this is his first career catch, or he's only played 22 snaps, or has never started a game, and and you see guys across the country get opportunities they hadn't had during the course of the year. It's one of the byproducts of kind of how some of this has trended towards over the last few years of bowl games and of you have opt-outs, you have transfers, whatnot, creates opportunities across the country. We have a fair share of those that will be presented, on game time, and I think they're excited. They've worked really hard. You're talking about, obviously, to answer your specific question about the receivers. And the good news about those guys is that they've had roles this year. They've gotten their feet wet. They know what it's like to play in games. They know what it's like to play in Big Ten games. And so I think that part of it's really good for them because they know what to expect to a large degree. And I think they're really excited about their opportunity, and there'll be plenty of those when it comes time to kick it off.